So, yeah, we're going full Notion ops mode today, and I'm finally breaking down something that honestly I've been nerding out over for years, SwiftBrain. And, this is one of those resources that's pretty niche, pretty technical, but if you're the kind of dev who loves high quality, real world Swift knowledge, not just a bunch of Stack Overflow noise, and right, if you've been around following my workflow, you probably know I'm a little obsessed with capturing the best stuff I find. I mean, I've spent years, literally years, hunting down Swift articles, hidden gems, one-off masterclasses, limited seat conference talks, all that stuff just sat in my own Notion workspace. Just a big messy vault, barely organized, but packed with gold if you could find it. But then, yeah, Anthropic rolls out MCPs. Suddenly, you can actually wire up Notion databases as a brain for Claude, Cursor, Codex, and even Notion AI's own agent. And that's when I realized, okay, what if I could actually curate all this stuff, like trim the fat, ditch the shallow medium posts, just keep the patterns, the best practices, the snippets and breakdowns that actually made me better at building Swift apps? So I went all in, spent the better part of last year building and curating what you see today, SwiftBrain. So here's what it actually is. SwiftBrain is a Notion database. Every entry is high quality, curated, and structured knowledge about Swift, SwiftUI, and all the adjacent tools and frameworks. This isn't just a dump of blog posts. Every article, code pattern, technique in here is either something I've used or from deep dives in courses, conferences, or those invite-only talks you only hear about after the fact. It's not about collecting everything. It's about collecting the right stuff, the code that stood the test of time, the refactoring patterns that save you hours, the accessibility tricks, the UI magic that separates an average app from a wow, how'd you do that app? And yeah, it's always up to date. Every month, I try to sweep through and add new learnings, pull from new releases, or update the entries as the Apple ecosystem keeps evolving. If you've ever wanted a living textbook for Swift, that's what SwiftBrain is. Okay, so you might be asking, why Notion? Why not a Markdown repo? And honestly, here's the real answer. Notion is the only tool I've found that lets me search, tag, remix, and feed this info directly to my AI agents and my own workflow. If you're using Notion AI as your project manager, your prompt writer, having SwiftBrain in your workspace turns your agent into like a mini Swift senior dev. It can find patterns, answer questions, and help you ship cleaner code faster. And here's the other thing. Notion makes it super easy to duplicate the database so you get your own copy. That means you can make it yours, add your own learnings, tag your own projects, even merge it with your existing notes if you want. It's not locked to my system. You get the upgrade, not just the notes. If you're like me, working with open source models, tuning your own models, or just wanting to train a Claude agent to think in modern Swift, you can export, tweak, and use SwiftBrain as your MCP. I know teams who've used this to ramp up new hires, plug it into AI code review, or just keep everyone on the same page as Swift evolves. All right, so how do you actually use SwiftBrain? If you are a Crafter member, you've already got access. Here's what you do. Go into Notion, pull up the SwiftBrain database. To get your own copy, just tap the three dots up in the right corner and hit Move To, select your personal or team workspace, and boom, you've got a private copy that you control. If you're setting up for an AI agent, you can link your Notion AI directly to the SwiftBrain database or copy over just the stuff you want as context. Now you're ready to actually use it. Filter by OS version, like Swift version, pattern type, whatever you want. Need to build an animation and only want the best patterns? You can do that. Looking for accessibility hacks? They're all tagged. Need a concurrency trick for iOS 17? Just filter and copy. This is literally the quickest way to give yourself and your agents the right context for whatever Swift problem you're solving today. And here's why this is getting better every month. AI agents, especially open source ones, are evolving fast. Companies and indie devs alike are moving away from giant closed models and starting to build their own custom private agents. And what do those agents need to really work? High quality, structured, up to date data. If you have Swift Brain in your Notion, you're future proofing your workflow. Your AI gets smarter as you do, and your system can adapt to whatever Apple, Notion, or OpenAI throws at you next. And for what it's worth, I'm going to keep updating Swift Brain, keep curating, and keep sharing the tricks that actually make us better builders. So, yeah, if you're still just copying blog posts into a doc, it's time to upgrade. Swift Brain isn't about having the biggest library, it's about having the smartest one. If you want to start, go ahead and hit that three dot button, duplicate it, and drop it into your workspace. You can use it straight up or go wild, add, remix, build your own flavor. If you're using Notion AI, you'll immediately see the difference. If you're working with Claude Code, Cursor, or building your own MCP, this is the upgrade you've been looking for. And if you want to see more or need a walkthrough or want to share your own tweaks, hit me up in the lab Discord or drop a comment. I'll be posting more about how I use Swift Brain with AI, new Notion features, and ways to make your solo studio workflow even sharper. All right, keep crafting, keep building, and yeah, upgrade your brain, not just your repo. Peace.